All right.
Yes.
So first, I'm Carolyn Goodridge, the founder of Art Impact International, and we are so pleased to have our special featured solo artist, master artist, Younes Ansari from Iran. And he has been and is and will continue to be the master artist. His work is so wonderful that all he uses, for the most part, certainly other implements, but mostly the palette knife. So Younes is going to tell us a bit about his background and his story, and then we'll get into the exhibition itself, which is entitled The Magic of Palette Knife. Younes Ansari, thank you for being here. Please take her away.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Younes Ansari. I'm from Iran. I'm 40 years old. Since I was 8, I graduated with a MA in painting, and I have worked as an illustrator of children's books and also tutor of drawing and painting since I was 17. Now I mostly paint with palette knife as my main technique, and I teach it to my students. I took part in some group exhibitions in my country, and I also experienced some group exhibitions with Art Impact International. Okay, Caroline, I'm here, and any other question you have?
I had to unmute myself because, as I mentioned, I'm in DC major, so there's a lot of traffic. So thank you for that, Younes. Can you tell us, I mean, I have a couple questions for you that I think some of the artists may be circulating in their mind. How did you come to settle on really mastering the palette knife? I mean, there are so many different, how did you come to that? Or why did you decide the palette knife?
Carmen, you know, a palette knife is mostly a tool to mix paint on the surface of a palette. And it has different sizes, and it has different forms. I can say almost 9 years ago, I was in university and I was painting. I found palette knife a tool to paint separately, and I found out that it can be replaced instead of a brush. And I started to paint. You know, it has various usages, but it can be done, and it can and you can paint with palette knife in bigger sizes, in bigger size canvases. And any other question?
So you mentioned that you've gone to the university, and that palette knife usually is used for mixing. And I remember that too when as a student in the university painting with all paints. The good thing about the palette knife, though, also is you don't necessarily have to clean it as much with the different solvents as you do with the brush, right? With a palette knife, you can take a rag, you know, and clean it, and now it's clean. It's not going to mix up with other paints and so forth. Right? Cool.
The main reason why we use palette knife is that you can make very good strokes, marks, or effects on the surface of canvas. It is very important that these strokes look like mostly like abstract paintings. And another reason, it can be time. You know, with palette knife, you can you can paint very fastly, and it helps to reduce time.
All right. Well, if anybody else has any other questions before we get into the art, you're free to ask it now before we start with the gallery. So does anybody have any other questions at this point for Younes? All right. So let's open up with I'm going to share my screen. And then, Younes, I'm going to guide everyone through, excuse me, through the gallery. Let me just pull it up again. And you can speak about the pieces. I believe we have 31 pieces of your artwork, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let me open up the gallery. Just let me know when you see my screen. Can you see it?
Not yet.
How about
It's loading. Yeah, now yes.
Okay, great. Let me just clear everything here. So I'm going to click enter the exhibition. All right, so let's start on the main wall. Here with these portraits. Let's start with the Dream of Stars.
Yeah. Younes Ansari.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, we had this in previous exhibitions. I tried to have some collections. I painted portraits, I painted landscapes, seascapes, everything. I tried to examine and test everything to know how to paint with palette knife. You know, it's important how you find the textures, how you paint the textures. It is important. You have skins, you have hair. It is all have a lot to. You must work on them much to know how you paint. And this one was also one of them. A portrait of a woman. She's the first lady who fly to space. She's an Iranian woman. And if you see, I use very details to paint this one. You can, if you go in onto the picture, you can see, have many details. You know, it's very hard to work on detail with palette knife, but I did. The palette knife has ability or capacity to let you work very expressively or very detailed. An abstract painting or real or representational. This one is, I try to represent portrait and I use only the palette knife.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
And I remember asking you, she has the last name of your family. Yeah. Is she? Yeah. Is she at all? Is she at all related to?
I wish she was, but no.
Okay. All right.
You know, she's a very rich woman.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Let's go on to Nomad Woman number 4.
Yeah. The biggest size you have in this collection.
I'm gonna open up when you guys go into the gallery, you just click and you can see the details. This is 58 inches by 54 inches.
Yeah. Okay, nomad people, I like their living, their style of their life. It's a kind of hard life, but I like it. They are very noble people.
Mhm.
And I like the colors they use in their life. Women almost wear very colorful clothes, and they try to decorate their life with very simple things. So the colors they use drag my attention, and I try to paint them in different paintings, and this one is one of them.
Okay.
Technically, if you want to see the, around the woman, you see some abstract forms.
Yeah.
These are strokes done with bigger sizes of palette knife.
Mhm.
And really, I try to really add color,
Mhm.
not just gray, not just black or white. You know, this painting has many colors too.
Yeah. Yeah. And her eyes are very expressive,
Yeah,
you know, so it's a great contrast between the realism, even of these beads here around her neck,
yeah,
the flower petals, right? That's
yes.
on her dress, her sleeves, and then you have the gestural strokes of the palette knife. Very beautiful. And
You know, it's
even
very
here, which is, it looks like a steel ring. Maybe that's for the
yeah.
doorbell or something.
No, they mostly use for their ships.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. But it sounded like you were going to say something else there about her.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
No,
oh.
she was a very brave woman.
Mm,
I saw a documentary about her, and she was kind of the main character in her life,
mm.
in their family, and I admire such women.
Yeah. Wow. Well, thank you for this portrait of her and what she
Yeah,
represents. Very beautiful. And now we have this one, portrait of a man.
yeah.
I love
Again,
the
we can.
strokes of the beard. Look at that.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's very hard to paint with palette knife, Berlin. Very hard. You
Mm,
must learn how to paint textures, how to paint the skin, the mustache, the beard, everything. It is very hard. You know, you must learn to paint abstract of everything. You know, the birds are very, it's like a hair, but you
mm,
have to do it with some strokes of palette knife.
mhm,
Sometimes very simple. You can work on it much. Just you can paint and let it to be on the canvas.
mhm. Nice.
Yeah,
Wow.
this one was another. Uh, I can say this. I tried to paint portraits, and this was in my collection as portrait.
All right. Is
Yeah,
this gentleman anyone specific?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
A musician.
Oh, musician. Wow.
Yeah, yeah,
Beautiful. Very beautiful. And I love how you have the different whites mixed with the
yeah,
blues and the warm color, the
yeah,
cold colors, very
yeah.
beautiful.
Cold color for background, very
Hmm.
gray.
Yeah, yeah,
You must have a great talent in drawing.
yeah,
Really, it needs for palette night. You have to draw very well. You
right.
can't be an amateur and trying to paint. You can paint, but it cannot be very perfect.
And you yourself, Younes, are you currently an art instructor, or was that something you did in the past? Or
I do it again. Yeah, yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay. Were you teaching adults or young children?
Adults.
Adults, okay.
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
hard
So
for students to paint with palette knife.
yeah.
It needs a
Do you
drawing is.
do you train them to paint with a palette knife, or you use the brushes and the more easy implements and tools?
Well, mostly it is palette knife, but I teach drawing and painting.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes with pencil, sometimes with charcoal, but mostly with palette knife,
Okay.
oil and palette knife. Yeah,
And this one is called Dancing Nomad.
yeah. Again, nomad women.
Mm.
You see how colorful they wear.
Yes. Yes.
No,
Trying
where
to.
they living is kind of very gray, or uh, it has not so much color, but they add color to their life,
Mm-hmm.
their nature. They mostly wear colorful clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In
So.
this one, you see,
Mhm.
it is not just a painting. You see, a real painting. You can see it as if an abstract painting. You know, you must learn how to paint abstract of everything.
Mm.
Look at his hand holding that clothes. So these are just some strokes of palette knife, but
Mhm.
it shows you as if it's like clothes. She's dancing with the clothes.
Mhm. Nice, beautiful. And the
The
and
background is abstract.
yeah, and the choice of color is very, very good.
Yeah,
Very good.
complementary colors, yellow
Yes.
and purple.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you see, colors are in all of my paintings, or they are vivid and very, sometimes very raw color. I do
Yeah.
not use so much gray or black colors. I can say I rarely use black in my color in my paintings.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes just for hair or other parts, but mostly uh, the darkest paint is magenta. It's not black.
Right, right. I also learned that from a famous artist I took a class with in the Guggenheim Museum, James Rosenquist. And he
Yeah.
taught us never ever use black. He said you can
Oh,
mix up colors so that they're dark, but don't ever use black because they sort of suck out the life out of the other colors.
it's a dark. Black is very sharp color
Yeah, yeah,
and makes kind of dirty everywhere. Everywhere it goes, makes paints very dirty, and it's not good for my paintings.
yeah. Look at this one. This one is
Yeah,
entitled Woman Portrait.
yeah. Another study for portraits.
Right.
Hairs, they are just again some palette knife strokes.
Mm-hmm.
Have no, it has no detail on the hair,
Mm-hmm.
just strokes.
Right. This one is focused on the flower petals. Very
Yeah,
beautiful. Wow.
everything was a study for me. You know,
Mm-hmm.
to know how to paint those flowers, how to paint the hairs, all are kind of a study. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's hard, and I really say those who want to paint with pattern, it's hard, but you must work much to learn how to paint with it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
And
you see, and very expressive. These are the faces are very expressive, and I use very less detail.
mm-hmm. And this one is Portuguese woman.
Yeah,
Wow, look at these
yeah,
details. Yeah.
yeah. Again, their color, the colorful clothes
Mm-hmm.
attract my attention, and I paint them.
And even the jewelry around her neck and breast.
Yeah,
Yeah. Wow. Awesome. Awesome.
these took me just one day, for example, to paint. I do not spend so much time.
Mm-hmm.
I try to paint very fast.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow. Gorgeous. And this one is we come away from the facial portraiture. This one is entitled
yeah,
Nomad Woman again.
yeah. You see, it looks like an abstract painting,
Yeah, but
especially.
you could tell
Um,
here her
yeah,
silhouette of
very,
her face.
yeah, very summarized face.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
No detail, just some strokes on face.
Yeah, but her spirit is there. Yeah.
Yeah, running. You see the
Mm-hmm,
movement. She's running, and the colors help
mm-hmm,
show this.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Again, if you look at it in detail, you will see they're just strokes, very simple strokes.
Yeah.
But together they make a very beautiful painting.
Mhm.
I like how a palette knife makes abstract forms, abstract effects.
Mhm.
Really, really, it's very fantastic.
Cool, cool. And I even like this one stroke for her bracelet.
Yeah, and the white one, I
Yeah,
really like it.
yeah. And her bonnet. Very nice.
Yeah, you know, it was sold in our
Yeah,
first exhibition,
right, right.
and I really want to know who bought this, and what I want to know and to see where it is hang.
All right.
The one who has bought it, I think he or she must be very happy. Very
Yeah,
beautiful painting.
yeah.
Even myself, I like to have it. You know, I told them I like to have it.
You can do another one.
Yeah,
Yes,
but you know, I must say, yeah, I can do again, but never it will be like this.
of
It will be another.
course, of course,
It will be another form.
of course.
Never
It'll
it
be
is repeated.
different. Yeah,
Yeah.
very nice. So now we go to the food discrimination. This one
Yeah.
you had in that show.
Yeah.
We had the child factor, I believe.
Yes. In Child Factor exhibition. Yeah.
Yeah,
This one is not with palette knife,
right,
or it has just some small strokes on the wall,
right.
but it is mostly I can say it is done with brush.
Okay. So this
Yeah.
one is the brush. But you
Yeah,
have
again, but
Mhm.
again, it is very expressed. You know, you see, not very details. Again, if you look at them, they are again very expressive.
Mhm. I want,
And for this, the meaning, the message it has, it is about children. It is about food. That how in rich countries people live and they eat foods for their pleasure. They enjoy eating. They go to restaurants. They have spaces for it. But in poorer countries, uh, they do not eat for a pleasure. They eat to live. You know, if they found to eat, they live.
Mhm.
And in this one, I try to show two scenes. You know, in a painting, it is not like a movie. You can't have many scenes. You just have just one scene, and you must show your message in one painting. So I showed two children on the wall as if it's a wall painting, and the lower wall, the lower part is about people who are eating, and you see in a left side this restaurant, fast food, and pizza. You know, even the fast food for people, it's a fast food they go and they enjoy. But I try to show fast food. I mean, you must give them food very fast, or they can die.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, two meaning. No, fast food has two meaning for me here.
Mm. Wow. And this was another one that was in the child
Yeah,
factor.
yeah.
Victim.
Again,
This is
you see
entitled
wall.
Victim.
Yeah, again you see the wall. Uh, the walls has meaning for me. I say I believe that walls show a city, a country. When you want to know a city or a country, you can look at the walls.
Mhm. Mhm.
In a war zone, when you look at a wall, you see bullets on it, rebels, walls are dropped down. All are made because of war. In this painting, again, I use two scenes: a war and a kid that is can be injured by bullet.
Mhm.
The wall, at the wall, you see people are fighting. It is again like a painting on a wall.
Mhm.
It is too realistic. No, we can go beyond reality. We can paint not real. Again, I say people are fighting. It is what adults made war, and kids are mostly victims. And you see, she was drawing on the ground. It's a very
Yes.
simple painting. You know, you see, it's very simple. Fair family, house, tree. What a kid can dream for her life.
Yeah.
But behind, you see, it's a war that adults made, showing in contrast, showing how children world is and how adult world is.
Yes, very good contrast.
Yeah.
Wow, in all kinds of ways, all kinds of ways. You have the simple black and white, more or less. At the bottom, you know, a youth, very young ideas of family and flowers and home, things that are important to children. And then you have the adults, or at least the ones who prefer to fight, right? And there's the kid in the middle. Very, 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 very moving.
The victim of the wars.
Yeah, yeah.
No, kids never have idea about wars. They know. They don't know why people are fighting.
Right, right. And it's very painful to see the bullets and even the blood dripping down from the bullets onto the child.
It's painful, but it's real, you know?
Yeah.
There are many countries that they are fighting now, and many kids are dying, everything, unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah.
Hope for peace everywhere.
Yeah, wow. All right. Let's move around here. Actually, I think there's a painting on this the wall over here.
Yes.
Right. Let's make that. And these
the
paintings,
bottles again.
Yes, these were for the environment, right? The endangered environment. So let's talk about this. This one is captivated polluter.
Yeah.
This bottle is captive in a plastic bottle.
Yeah.
And these are bottles and battles. Let's.
Yeah. Again, in my collection about bottles, you know, bottles are the most polluters of seas or ground. You know, we use so much plastic, especially bottles. And in this painting that you see, it has many details. It is a small one, but has very detailed. I try to show the details. The name is Captivated Bottle. And I painted the bottle as if I have captivated it. I fastened his hands, his legs, you know, as if a human, to show that this one is the most polluter of the seas, for example, showing it's guilty, but it refers to human, that human, you are polluting everywhere. And this one again, bottles. And as you see, a fish is inside it. The problem that would make for fishes, for living things in sea, when we throw our bottles or plastic things in water. So their life is in danger. We make hardship. You see, there are many very sad scenes or pictures we have seen from sea, but I tried to reduce it. Just that I didn't kill the fish. I just showed how it is captivated in bottle.
Right. And it almost looks like you have a face here, almost like two eyes, the nose, and here. Was that just coincidence, or you meant to have a hidden face, like almost a mask here?
Can be coincidence, but
Okay.
in all of my paintings, you see, I try to show a kind of face. Now, how I made this, I try to gather my bottles, the bottles my family or friends are using. I try to press them, to make shape by them, and I used in my painting all of this. I have the pictures, the real pictures of bottles, exactly look like this. Even the next one that they have faces of human. Next one is, if you want to see, I can check on this. Yeah, you see?
Yes.
Again, two bottles. I pressed the bottles and made some kind of forms by them. Pressed bottles, but really they look like this. I just try to change some parts to look like more as a human, but they were like this. They were very look like this. And this one is bottles and battles. Again, bottles as the main polluters of our environment, our nature. They have human faces. They refer to human too, not only bottles, but humans too. And it refers to the fight and the wars in future we people will have for nature. That who is guilty for polluting the sea, for example, or the nature? It will be. In future, you will see that humans are fighting with each other for a clean nature. Then this shows bottles and battles, very simply. You know, the faces are like caricature. They are distorted or kind of awkward faces. Very funny face. But what we are doing, what we humans doing in our nature.
Yeah.
We just make some damages.
I wanted to just make a quick comment on this one. It's just the feeling of the water. You captured it so well, and the light and the sun. It's like I feel like I'm under the water and looking up at the sun.
Yeah.
And the way you depicted the water, just really masterful. So I just wanted to make that comment there.
Yeah. Again, it is palette knife, no brush.
Right. Wow.
All is done with palette knife, even the detail.
Yeah.
You have this one in your collection, Carmen,
yeah.
And I think you're lucky to see them with detail.
Yeah. Well, we're hoping to have a show here in DC, in which I can install the work so people can see it in actuality.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons why I'm in DC today, actually, too. All right, so here we go. This one's called Unrecycled Doll.
Yeah.
You have a little rubber ducky and fish around. My goodness.
Yeah. This one, again, it is about pollution and what we do to sea or water. In this picture, you see a doll, a plastic doll. It's somehow new, it's not old. It's left in water, and symbolically I showed when you throw it to the water, it makes danger for living things, especially fishes. And if you notice, you see these three fishes make kind of recycling sign. You know, recycling sign that you have in the bottom of the bottle. You know, they say how it must be recycled. When they are around the doll, it shows that it must be recycled. It shouldn't be left in nature. And when you pollute the waters, no living thing live, but only just these plastic things, even that duck. Again,
I'm
I use the tip of the plant.
okay. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, let's see if we could go around the corner here. Here we go. Now this is, we're coming to the boat series.
Yeah,
I think we're starting, well, let's start in this direction. This
yeah.
is not the
Plant
boats,
is
but it's winter now. This is, look
yeah,
at this one. Oh my goodness.
yeah. No, very expressive.
Yeah, yeah. And this one's entitled Winter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
You see the trees. If
Mhm,
you look at
yeah,
the details, go closer, you see there is no detail, but just some strokes. But it
right.
makes kind of illusion in your mind. That is a tree, grasses, or the house. The house is much more clear, but the around are some trees and some branches,
Mhm,
and it makes the illusion of them.
right.
You know, they are just some strokes, very expressive and very simple.
Yeah. And you have the feeling of the snow as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. The colors are cold, you see.
Mhm. Except
It
a
is very
few
important.
warm strokes here, right? Few
Right.
warm strokes.
Yeah,
And the wood, which is warm, of
yeah.
the cabin. Very nice. Wow.
Technically, this helps these parts to be closer
Hmm.
for viewer.
Yeah.
Now, comes to foreground and background is colder. You know, you must have very good knowledge of colors,
Mhm.
know how to paint.
Yeah.
And it's very fast. You can't think so much. You paint, you paint.
Yeah. And then this one now is called Mountain.
Yeah, Mount. Yeah. Again, the mountain is done just with, I think, some very small, not a small, what very few strokes.
Hmm.
Yeah, these are strokes as if it's showing a mountain. No, when you look closer, they are just strokes, but they are done perfectly to show a mountain.
Hmm.
And again, I change colors. I use vivid colors. How purple, blue the mountain is, and the foreground is warm again.
Hmm. And even the
And
grass in the bottom.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Beautiful. Now I believe this is landscape number 2 we're coming to.
Three paintings that really are amazing. I really like them.
Yeah. Look at this
Yeah,
tree.
yeah. You
Wow.
see the water, even the water. You know, they
Yeah,
are just
exactly.
as if they are water. You know, they make illusion of water for you,
Yeah. And
or
and
flowers or leaves on the water.
right.
Yeah, and the house, the trees, especially at background.
Right.
They are done very simple, but very, very, very good, very, very nice. I have them in my collection. I try to look at them almost
Mhm.
every week.
Yeah. Well, it tells, viewing the artwork here, it tells that you have a real full understanding and experience of the nature that you're painting here.
Yeah, you must understand the nature
Yeah.
and try to paint them in very simple forms and very small or big strokes, very expressively. And you must have a good knowledge of abstract painting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
Good.
then as it's very fast painting, you must know how to use paint, how to use the strokes. It's very important, very, very special.
Yeah. Yeah. I love here where it almost looks like it would be in the middle here. It looks like
Yeah,
it would be a reflection on the
yeah,
water
definitely.
of this cloud up here.
All of them are done with just some strokes. You know,
Yeah.
you you can't work on it much.
Right.
Maybe
Right.
in 10 minutes, just you mix paints and you put on the canvas.
Right.
Then you must be very talented. You must know how to use them. It's not easy at all.
Right.
That's all.
Yeah. You can't fuss with it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Let's see this one here.
When you paint with brushes, what you paint is important. It's a house, it's a tree. But here you see the strokes are important. You see, when you look at them, firstly, you see the strokes. The strokes that look like a tree, look like a house, a mountain, a cloud. It's very important.
Yeah.
As if it's cloud, as if it's mountain, as if it's tree. But just there are some strokes, very simple strokes, but very perfectly done. And this one again, it's very beautiful, very sharp and very simple palette strokes, knife strokes, sorry.
Very nice.
On the ground. And I try to use paints very strongly. You shouldn't fear to paint. I see many who have they are afraid to make a painting very badly, but I really like how I paint them strongly with no fear. I'm not afraid to use paints. I easily use them. I use orange, yellow, very simple.
Yeah, we can tell just by looking at it that you no nonsense. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. Yeah, this is nice. Like this. Wow. Even the house you see, this is done just with 2 or I can say 4 strokes. No, 4 strokes, only 4 strokes on top, on the lights, for example, on the wall or on the roof. It's just 4 strokes. You must be able to put 4 strokes, and it makes the illusion of a house.
Very nice.
Yeah. Again, trees, you see, they are abstract form, but looks like a tree. Yeah. The grass, the way, maybe the stones, the water.
And what do the red strokes represent? I'm thinking, I was like, well, they're not flowers, they're not bricks.
Yeah.
But they work, what are they? Are they supposed to be logs or just the color stroke?
Sometimes I let the viewer to make an illusion. What you found in it.
Yeah.
Maybe sometimes I found something or I wanted to paint something, but you look and you find something else.
Right.
It's kind of play. It's kind of play in painting.
Yeah. I see. I'm looking at this little beautiful lapis color right there.
Yeah. Very nice. Painting is very special. I really like it.
Yeah. Even when I clicked on the information card, it looks so beautiful here too.
Yeah.
In little, Wow. Very beautiful. And this is 24 by 18.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not a big one.
Yeah. And now for the boats. This is boat number 11.
Yeah. I wish you could see them from near.
Yeah.
The water, the strokes I use, the clothes are very special. All of them are done at once. I didn't play with the colors much.
Oops, sorry.
On it.
There we go. I clicked too long.
Yeah. Look at the background. They make illusion of kind of ships. Or boats.
Yeah. And back here is like the city, almost either a city or another ship.
Yeah, as if a city, but it's just some strokes.
Yeah.
That's the talent you must have in painting.
Yeah. Beautiful.
how to show very simply.
Mm-hmm. And this one also is, let's see, the size is also the 16 by 24. Yeah.
The smaller one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All the strokes bigger. So you see bigger strokes in the
Yeah.
left side of the
Yeah.
boat. They are done with a bigger sizes of palette, but the rest are done with smaller.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And these are very, very simple paintings, but very expressive.
Mm-hmm. Gorgeous.
Yeah. You must look at closer. You must look with your own eyes. Right?
Right.
Pictures do not represent the works perfectly.
And this
Yeah.
one, this
Yeah.
one, beautiful. You have its
Yeah.
reflection in the water.
Yeah. Reflection is very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Even the air, the sky is beautiful.
Yeah. Here and here as well.
And you must know how to use different part of palette. You can use the whole part or the blade or tip, how to make a line with
Mm-hmm.
palettes. You're not
Yeah.
allowed to use, in my painting, I didn't allow myself to use brushes. Never ever. I just paint with palette. Even if it's hard, you must paint with palette knife. But I have seen some who paint with palette knife. In some parts, they use brushes for small things, for lines. For some very small parts, they use brushes. But I do not use.
Mm-hmm.
They are all with palette.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. Gorgeous. This is
Yeah.
this one here, boat
Yeah.
number 9.
Yeah. Again, the ropes are done with palette knife. The sky is. I use little thicker paints for a sky to show how clouds are separated from the sky.
Mm-hmm.
It helps you. In palette knife, you can use thin color, thin paints, or thick layers of paint. It allows you to have such texture difference between thin and thick.
Very beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow. Then this one, number 8.
I use mostly even purple for water, blues.
Mm-hmm. And we can
Yeah,
see the waves more even in this one.
Yes.
Cresting, yeah.
Go closer and you see these are just some strokes, not detailed waves.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's hard to paint how I paint them. It's very hard.
Mm-hmm.
I use just some strokes, but this shows you the waves, how stormy sea is.
Mm-hmm.
In the sands, how wet water makes the sands.
Mm-hmm.
You see the shore, but it's cold colors.
Yeah, yeah.
They can make the boats warm colors and the background is colder.
And it looks like there's something hanging on the wood here. These things hanging.
Yeah, as if hanging. Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful. And the flag also.
Yes. The mountains.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the back.
The clouds, the background.
Mm-hmm. Back here. Yeah.
Now, in palette knife, you must learn how to paint abstract of everything. The abstract of waves, abstract of mountains, not detailed. Just these are abstract, but showing or representing a mountain or a boat.
Mm-hmm.
No, or nature, for example. This one, you have this too.
Yeah. Yeah, the gesture.
Yeah, especially, I like the green color I use in background. Yeah.
Like an emerald.
Yeah. And the reflection is perfect, really perfect.
Mm-hmm. And the house over here, you even have a feeling of the cement.
Yeah.
On the house. Yeah. Beautiful. And it looks like there's maybe small boats here because
Yeah,
I could
small
see
boats.
the,
Yeah,
yeah, I can see the lines very gently done, and
yeah,
also the
very
houses.
small forms, but they show it is as if it's boats.
Right, right. And I
Again,
absolutely love this line here. Beautiful, beautiful. So
yeah,
clean and well done. Not wiggly, choom,
yeah.
like that.
You
Right.
can go closer. It is.
I'm trying to get closer, but I don't want the, you see how I'm trying, but because I don't have a certain, if I use my fingers, then who knows what'll happen. There. I'm gonna try. Let's see if it'll open up. See, I knew it. I shouldn't. I have a touch screen, so if I touch it, who knows?
Yeah.
Let me go back to this one here.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, gorgeous. And this one you have, it somehow reminds me of your nomad women somehow because of all the colors. You know,
Yeah.
it help like they're going somewhere too. Yeah.
Yes.
And then this one, wow,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Again, warm and cold
Mm-hmm,
color,
mm-hmm.
the filling on a stormy sea, clothes, all are done with just strokes.
Yeah.
The strokes that's mostly I just do it and I leave it. I do not play with them much.
Okay, let's go to the next one. This one, wow.
Yeah. The sky is cloudy
Yeah,
and near to rain.
yeah. It almost feels like this boat is aground, like he somehow landed on the ground,
Yeah.
coming from a storm. That's where he wound up.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Yeah, beautiful. And this red cabin here, you wonder who's inside.
Yeah. You see, you try to find things inside it.
Yes,
No,
of course.
that is the illusion I really like the viewers to have.
Yeah,
See
yeah,
something inside it.
yeah. It's like you want to find a head popping up. You know?
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. Very nice. Strokes, strokes, strokes here,
Yeah.
here. And then
You
your
know, palette
lines.
knife is just strokes that are together and make a painting.
Yeah. And then again, the contrast between the broad strokes and the
Yeah.
small, fine lines. You
Yeah.
even
You
have
must.
lines for the ladder.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You must have a good knowledge of painting.
yeah,
How to use contrast, how to use warm and cold colors, how to and have a skill in drawing. It's
yeah,
very important
yeah.
to draw.
And
And all
also,
of these.
yeah,
Yeah.
and also to represent what it is you're painting in
Yeah.
spirit and in actuality, back and
Yeah.
forth. And you really give a good balance between realism,
Yeah.
and the abstract. Very good
Yeah.
balance.
Yeah.
Very good balance.
Sometimes it can be look like a representation of a real
Yeah,
painting, and sometimes it can be like abstract. You can move on them. You can go more toward abstract or more to representation. It is in your hand. You can choose what to do.
right. But you,
In both ways, it is nice.
mhm,
In my collection here, you see, I had kind of detailed painting, a real one, for example, and sometimes they are like abstract form.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Like this one is a little less
yeah,
abstract, but still you have abstract strokes.
Yes.
gestures, and the feeling of, we know this is a town, you know, you used
Yeah.
beautiful colors. This is the sky, that's this the
Yes.
water, that's, you know, the reflection, again, the lines, beautifully done.
Yes.
And the shadows here, shadows, reflection, even here, shadow a bit, right? And here, these little gestures for the
Yeah.
sun. Very, very well, very well.
Yeah. The sky even, they are just some strokes, white strokes, and they show you as if they are clothes. It's very hard when you just have 4 or 5 strokes to paint it, and you must paint them right in the right place.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Here you have a lot of the lines going up.
Yeah.
Very beautiful, very beautiful. And even in the front, uh-oh, what happened here? I gotta go back. Oops. Okay, I was saying here, again, the front and the sides of the ropes, you know, the lines for the holding the boat steady. Beautiful.
Yeah, they are very, very beautiful. I see them in real world, and I see with my own eyes, and I see that they are very nice.
So you painted these from actual experience, looking at them in real life?
These were mostly pictures, not real life, but
Okay.
I really like to paint in open air. Yeah.
Okay, but it feels like, yeah, it feels like you're there, you know?
No,
Yeah.
whenever you try to feel something, you paint it better. So
Sure.
yeah, if we go nature and we look at them with our eyes, we can paint them very easily or perfectly.
And even here in the background, you have a little boat with 2 people, looks like 2 people standing up here, right?
Yeah, these are illusions. I really like to viewers to feel it.
Yeah, and they're there. Very well done. Very nice. Oops, this is going faster here. Slow down, slow down. Okay, there we go. These are twin boats now.
Yeah.
This one is entitled Boat Number 2.
Yeah. No, all of these were kind of testing, kind of practicing how to paint boats, how to paint shore, water, how to paint clothes. I have so much paintings, even more than what you see in this exhibition, and these are just small number of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
And this one is boat
then
number 1.
These are acrylic. No, these are oil paint.
Okay.
No oil. I do not use acrylic.
Right.
Now, oil lets you paint easier, as it's oily. It's really you rub it very easily. But acrylic gets right fast, and it stops you to paint. You can paint with acrylic too. I know this, but with oil it is better and easier for palette knife.
Cool.
Gives better strokes. They are mixed better, and you have time. When you want to change somewhere or you add some colors, paints, you can easily add.
Cool.
But mostly in these paintings, as the layers are mostly thicker than normal painting with brushes, you have to add dryer in your paints, to dry fast. If you do not add dryer, it will take maybe months to be dry.
And I like the reflection of the buildings, that we don't even see them, but we see their reflection. Very beautiful.
The sands, shore is nice.
Let's see if we are coming. Here we go. I think these two ship.
Yeah.
Now that's a big ship. Wow.
One of the first paintings I did with about boats or ships.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I can say it was almost the first one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one you put a lot of details of what's on the ship, the wheels here.
An old, kind of old ship,
Yeah, yeah.
not clean, or the body is
Mm-hmm.
a little bit dirty with showing with brown or gray.
Mm-hmm. I almost want to see even, you know, a wider canvas of this going way over here, way over there, you know,
Yeah.
almost. Because now I'm so used to seeing the other boats that you've painted, but as you said, this is the first, you know, and so you
Yeah.
focused on it, not so much everything else, but
Yeah.
we
You
could
know,
see there's something in the background, but what's important here is the ship itself.
yeah, and it has more details comparing with
Oh
the
yeah,
other ones. The
yeah,
others were more expressive.
yeah.
It shows how I learned to paint boats. So
Mm-hmm.
it's very important. You must paint flowers, you must paint boats, but you must repeat them. You must
Yeah.
paint
Practice.
much
Yeah.
more. Yes, it is a
Practice.
matter of practice.
Yeah. Even here
You
you
learn.
have this beautiful yellow, looks like a ribbon or something cloth like.
Yeah, yeah, it has more detail, but I
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
with others.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But later I learned how I can make them simple, summarizing them
Mm-hmm.
to some small strokes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to paint details. I
Right.
can show them with some strokes.
Yeah. This is so this line here, it almost looks like steel like
Mm,
here, like
yeah,
metal, you know, the effect that it has, how it's painted against the dark, and then you have
yeah,
these shadows here. It almost looks like a steel plate, and
yeah,
here also. Beautiful. Beautiful.
yeah. And some parts are shown as if old.
Yeah, yeah, like an
So
antique boat.
yeah,
Have you sold this painting, this one?
no, no, I have in my collection.
Because I'm sure there are mariners, you know, the boatmen who would love a painting like that to have.
Yeah,
You know, we just have to
yeah,
find the right audience for these ships, and
yes,
maybe, you know, even a seafood restaurant. Not that the seafood restaurant would do it justice, but it could be one of
yeah.
those. I'm trying to get a real close up on this one. Wow, look at that.
And this one again, yeah, you see the waves hitting the stones.
Right,
You see how expressive again.
right. And this one is seascape.
Yeah,
And that's the lighthouse, or not quite a lighthouse, but
yeah, it's a house, yeah,
okay.
and
Yeah.
a tree near it with
Hmm.
walls under them.
Hmm.
Yeah, it is. You know, when you paint with palette knife, you can use impressionism, expressionism, everything that makes a painting, I say, a nice one.
Hmm.
I really like when the painting express your feeling. It
Wow.
shows it is expressive.
Wow. Let's see now. I think, I'm not sure, but I think we've
That's the
finished.
finish.
And
Yeah,
I have gotten a lot of I think questions or comments in the chat, but I couldn't open the chat yet. But let me just see if there are any people saying thank you. And okay, I'll go from the top. What I'm gonna do is, I don't want to stop sharing my screen because these are questions about the
yeah,
boats here. So Li, I'm not sure. Lois. Oh, Lois is on the call. Great. She says, are there as many palette knives as there are brushes? What was the one thing that influenced you to use the palette knives? Your work is fantastic. Thank you for
Thank you.
showing.
Thank you. I said in my all of paintings I see,
Yeah.
the strokes, the strokes, the strokes. I just can say the strokes are very important.
Wow.
Palette knife painting, and that is what dragged my attention.
Yeah.
Made me interested in painting with palette knife.
All right. And let's see. We got a question from L asking, is it possible to zoom in closer to details? And I tried, guys. I tried to zoom in closer. I don't have my ball. Like I said, I'm in a hotel room in Washington, D.C. using their facility. So I don't have what I usually have, but when I try my best to get closer, but I'll keep trying, okay? And let's.
Another question was what my painting. I do not draw in my painting. I start to put paints on the canvas very generally, and then I go to detail. I never draw anything on it.
Okay.
If you look at my Instagram page, you will see some videos or reels that shows how paint, even a portrait. I do not draw at all. I try to start with general surfaces, then I go to detail.
Mm-hmm.
I said you must have a very good skill in drawing.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah.
I do not draw, but I use palette knife in these paintings. But the drawing skill helps you to paint easily.
Okay. So you actually, you draw and paint with the palette knife is what it is.
Yeah.
I believe, and I believe someone asked, why is it that you used red for the reflection? I think it's this one that she's asking about.
Yeah, the reflection I use, there is a color called rose. It's a red, kind of red.
Mm-hmm.
And it has a little bit purple in it. Not totally red, but for reflection, it is red, but it's really good for shadows or the reflection. I use mostly this paint, this one, and another one is a purple I use. There is two numbers of colors, paints that I use so much in my painting. I said this is kind of personal selection. This is I choose. I decide what to paint, what paint to use, and how to paint. I use my my own imagination. You know, I do not. I try not to follow the nature. I mostly try to follow my own mind. You know, what I feel. My kind of painting my feelings. That is personal. It's a personal choose.
All right. Well, thank you. And the next question is, are you using paints straight from the tube with any mixing occurring on the canvas itself?
No. I mostly put them on the palettes. I mix them. There is many ways to apply paint on the canvas. No, I never use directly from tube because I try to mix with other colors. But mostly my paints are raw, and I do not make them gray. Yeah.
Very good. Wow.
Yeah.
So let's see. Younes, did we go through all the paintings? I don't think we left anyone out.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm going to open up so people can unmute themselves and ask questions. I'll still keep the screen shared, so that we can refer to the paintings as people may ask about it. So does anyone have any questions for Younes other than what we went through the chat?
On the this is Lois Ingram on the image of the boat in, I'm sorry, it's called Winter. It was one the first one you looked at before the boats. When you're mixing the whites, it's a lot of blues. I just kind of want to know, what did you do because there's so many layers of colors in that Winter, the whites. I mean, was there any grays or just blues, or how did you variate from the different shades of colors?
Yeah. I go generally, I try to go from general to detail. I add sometimes white, a blue, kind of blue to some parts. Then I try to add, for example, if I use green or brown, I add them. And when they are mixed, they make kind of feeling of kind of gray, for example. When the brown is mixed with blue, it makes kind of a feeling of gray for you. That is what you say. They make kind of gray, and there are lots of blues. The brown and the blue makes the gray there. Yeah, it happens on the canvas. I do not mix on the palette. I add blue, then I add brown, and when they are mixed, they make kind of gray. Yeah, again, if I want to add white, I add white.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
They are fantastic.
Canvas,
they are fantastic.
Yeah, all these happen on canvas, not palettes. The canvas is your palette.
Well, thank you so much for your gorgeous paintings, your high skills, and your technical prowess. Masterful paintings. It's been my pleasure to know you, to see the artwork that you produce over and over again.
Carlin, beyond what I said, life is continuous, and we make artworks, we teach, we paint. That is the meaning of life. We never give up. Never give up. We never give up.
Yeah.
And we will continue to paint, and that is the magic of art.
Yeah.
That is the magic of art that makes connection between countries and people, and makes our feelings good.
Yeah.
We are alive because we can work as an artist, and good. I like the way I have, the way of life I have.
Good. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's very inspiring to hear. And I believe we got a message from Carol Morgan. She said she really enjoyed here. Hi, I enjoyed this program very much. Love the paintings. So thank you, Carol. Thank you for those words. And thank you, everyone. And here I see, thank you, Mr. Ansari, for all the details of how you paint with a palette knife.
Thank you.
Wow. So, all right. So, okay, guys, well, thank you for coming. I hope this was something that you could take and just love for the rest of your days.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Younes, for
thank you both.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you all.
Okay.
It was wonderful. It was wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, Lois, for coming.
And pray for your safety and your family and everybody else as well. We will keep you in our hearts.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.